Hey guys, we're here at my house today because I wanted to show you how to deal with a very serious problem. This case came up last night. We let our dog out and he came in barking, agitated, and turned out one of his ears was all swollen up. And we found out this morning that what had happened is he ran into a yellowjacket's nest right in our backyard. And because in our backyard we have a lot of kids, not only our own kids, but neighbor kids and friends that come over and play. Usually when it comes to a pest like this, I say, live and let live, but when it comes to yellowjackets, especially those near the house, we make sure that we take care of those, and we do bring out the big guns for that. Well, 2 days after we put the carbaryl dust at the yellowjacket nest entrance, we went back and we probed around, and it looked like they were completely gone. Didn't see any coming or going. We even messed with the nest a little bit and nobody came out. So we went ahead and we filled in the hole. 2 weeks later, though, we noticed that there were some yellowjackets, though, back in the area. So we went back to the same spot, and turns out, sure enough, they were back. However, they were using a different nest entrance. They had burrowed a completely different hole that they are now using. So I took this opportunity to try a control method that I had read online. So I always like to use the least toxic methods available. And this one suggested using a vacuum cleaner. You set it up at night, you have the vacuum hose at the end, and you will then turn it on. The noise then agitates the yellowjackets. They come out of the nest in the whole colony, empties out into the vacuum cleaner. You suck them up, you tape it up. And we did that at night. It didn't work very well. I wasn't quite sure what was happening at the moment. It was dark, I couldn't really see. So after 15 minutes of running the vacuum, we turned it off. And I came back the next day and tried it again during the day. And what I discovered is that the yellowjackets they're really smart, and they're flyers, and so it seemed like they could tell the difference in the wind speed, because as I was running the vacuum during the daytime, I could look down in the hole and see they were all there kind of at the tunnel entrance, but they were staying down, and as I would move the vacuum hose closer, they would go farther down. And so they completely avoided it, which was really interesting. So I only managed to get maybe a couple dozen sucked up, which is not much considering the hive or colony might be 5,000 strong. So tonight what we're going to do, I just went to the store, got some plain old hornet spray, killer, just, any run-of-the-mill will do. I believe the main active ingredient in this product is permethrin. But what we're going to do is we're going to go outside and we're going to treat the nest at nighttime in the dark. So if you're doing something like this, it really is useful to have light, because in my backyard it's very dark, and so I need some type of light source. So using a flashlight, by spraying it and you have a flashlight in your hand, they will be drawn to that light. What you can do is you can take some red cellophane and place it over the flashlight. They can't see that red wavelength of light very well, and so they won't be drawn to your flashlight and to you. But what I actually am going to do is I purchased one of these. This is just a head lantern that you put on. We got it actually for Halloween coming up, so it works really well when you're trick-or-treating with kids. But it has a red light on it, and so we are going to go ahead and put this on. I'm going to head outside and treat the yellowjacket nest. I don't know if you're going to be able to see anything, but I'll set the camera up, and if we catch it, that'll be great. Then we'll check back again in a couple more days to see if we have successfully eliminated the nest. Well, the next day after applying the liquid insecticide to the yellowjacket nest, there were a couple stragglers left, but then the next day I went outside, checked, and nothing. Looks like that treatment went ahead and took care of everything. So
I would say that was probably one of the more successful ones, but looking back with the steel wool of death technique, I would say I would change one thing up. I wouldn't use steel wool. Instead of that, I would use cotton balls. So the point of that treatment was that you embed steel wool with the carbaryl insecticide, you spread some carbaryl dust around the hole, then you block it with the steel wool. They chew on it to clear the opening, and then they die from chewing on that. Maybe what happened with the steel wool is they just couldn't chew through it, so they decided to make another tunnel, and that's exactly what happened. Is they had a second tunnel that opened up once I blocked it with the steel wool. Whereas with cotton balls, they would be able to make progress on that and chew through it, and that might encourage them to work on clearing that hole up a little bit. So if that were the case, I would probably try the carbaryl dust treatment with cotton balls instead. So learn something there. Another tip that I read online, I didn't have a chance to try it because obviously the last treatment worked and killed off the yellowjackets, but was to take a hose and let it drip right next to the entrance of the nest. Supposedly what I read online is the entire colony will just pick up and leave because they don't like having all of that moisture present constantly. So that something like that would take several days in order for it to work, but supposedly if there's enough moisture in the area, they just pick up and leave and will take off and go to a different yard. So if you've tried other low toxic remedies with yellowjackets, please feel free to leave those comments below. And as always, thank you for watching.